Welcome back to part 2 of the tutorial for Hagane, level 2. And I'm going to be explaining it as I see it, because I need to refresh my memory a little bit. But yeah, so let's see. Okay, this level starts off with a boss fight. I think there may even be a few boss fights in this level that early on, but this is a pretty easy one. Just jump up, do a few slashes. Try not to get hit by his body. That's the main issue from what I remember. His attacks are not that, that frequent or that hard to dodge. I mean, just stay out of the way when you see him dropping those balls. And that's an entire section, so that's a pretty easy way to take down a section. So yeah, obviously for these, don't get hit by that. Avoid those. And use those jump, that roll, kind of, that right there. I don't know what to call that. You jump and then you roll in midair and you go straight across. You're going to use that a lot for platforming. See, like that. And sometimes you can cut through some areas too if you use it, the right way. But yeah, the platforming can be tricky because, like I said, the jumping, it's kind of shitty, the control. I mean, it's usable. It's not as precise as I would like. I'm sure I could have gotten used to it more, but it felt sloppy to me at times. When most games it would be more, it would have been tighter and easier to execute. Now, this is not the kind of game where you have to make a save state and practice each little specific part of a section, like you would maybe with Jim Power, where you did that a lot because that was an insane game. With this, you may want to occasionally save state on a part in a section just to practice it so you can understand it better. But for the most part, what I did was I made a save state at the beginning of each section, like 4-1 is a section, 2-1 is a section, those are sections, 2-1, 2-2, 2-3, all different sections. So I would save state before a section and just try to beat it without dying and maybe do that a few times. And that would be my way of learning the section. I didn't do much practice on just specific little parts of the sections. But you can always do that, make multiple save slots, and then you can, if you think something's going to give you a problem, practice a specific part. That's always going to help. The more you practice, the better you're going to do at the game. And as with all these games, if you stick with it and practice, you're just going to get better at the game, even if it gives you a lot of trouble initially. I didn't find this game to be too difficult until I got to the last few levels. And it wasn't too bad for me because I started practicing from the beginning. I started using save and load state practice to practice efficiently from the beginning. So I didn't waste my time, restarting constantly and doing the whole levels over. I just practiced the sections, basically, which I do with a lot of games nowadays. I do that with most games. Unless the game is, not that hard. If it's, a fighting game or something, I'll just play it until I beat it. But yeah, so for here, obviously try to avoid that thing moving around the middle. Pretty explanatory. A lot of it I won't explain because you can kind of see what I'm doing on the screen, and there's not really, there's not too much to it. I mean, you're going to get the information from watching the video. But yeah, I like using the shurikens a lot because of the range they have, and you can really hammer them into the enemy. But, sometimes you run out of ammunition, so. But you get plenty of ammo in this game, generally, so. As long as you collect the, little things. But this level has some platforming that can be kind of tricky. These are a little bit annoying. I was expecting that guy to drop down. That's why I was hammering the sword attack before he even came out. So, of course, knowing spawns is always helpful in these games. That's part of the whole practicing thing, Obviously, I didn't beat this on my first try, so. At least I don't think I did. That would have been pretty impressive. But yeah. I think I overcomplicated this end part, and I think at the end I actually end up finding that, I think I did it an easier way or something, but I'm making this part a lot harder than it has to be. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I was, it's weird with those things that come in and out. Sometimes you think you're going to land on them, and for some reason you just don't. You know, they look like you can land on them, but you can't. And that's what I'm saying with the landing detection and the jumping can be weird in this game. But, I mean, it's, you know, it's good enough. Okay, yeah, for this part, I guess I just sit in the corner and hack away at those ghostly things that come at me. The lasers, I remember, you don't really have to even get close to the thing and engage with them a lot of the time, so you can just stay in the corner and they won't really bother you. Unless he's, you know, unless he's really close to you, then you may have to move. But yeah, you can just hack away at this shit. The patterns are not too complicated. Yeah, and the bombs, I see I switched to bombs for that part. I like using the bombs for that because, you know, you have to hit that center rock when those things are spinning around. And the bombs make it easy because the explosion has a large radius, so it makes it easy to hit those things. You know, and you'll hit the center. You don't have to have precise aim with the bombs on those enemies. So I do prefer the bombs for those spinning, rotating things that come out. But aside from that, I think I mostly just use the sword. But you'll see me using a variety of weapons because the game actually is designed in a way where all the weapons are useful at some point. Though I find the hook-like weapon the least useful. Yeah, so you see me using the bombs on those spinning things yet again. That's pretty much, you know, that's maybe the only time I switch weapons for this guy. You know. Even though you can see it, it probably helps to explain it because you may, you know, while watching the video without commentary, you may not really be thinking about all the little nuances that are going on. You know, you may just watch the video, then go play the game, and then you forget the little things like that when you try to play it. So I think it helps. So yeah, we'll now go to part 3 will be next. So stay tuned for that.